Hi, I'm Claudia Perkins Milton, and I'm here in support of Brother Tim Johnson, running for sheriff in this great city of Flint, Michigan. And I know he's supposed to be talking about the corruption. We have had a great rise in corruption lately. And when on his watch, he cleared us off the crime list. So I'm in support of anybody that does something that great.
Hi, I'm Pastor Cynthia Watkins of the Well Church International Ministries here in Flint, Michigan. I'm here in support of Tim Johnson. Today we've been having a great discussion about all the murders and all the shootings that are taking place in Flint, Michigan. And we're here to call you out. Something needs to be done about this, and it needs to be done now. People are dying, and it's like nothing is being done. The police aren't showing up in our neighborhoods. Nobody's doing nothing, and we're here today because we want to put a man in the office that's going to stand for us, and we want him to stand for us now. No justice,
no peace.
Hey, ready? Hey, how you doing? My name is Richard Jones. I'm an activist in Flint, and I'm supporting Tim Johnson. It's amazing that you have 3 candidates running for sheriff, and one of them is currently the police chief, and one of them is currently the sheriff. And our crime is going through the roof. Y'all know the numbers. Now, when Tim Johnson was in office, we wasn't on the worst most violent list. We wasn't on the worst city to live list. But in this short period of time, we all know that we are back there. So support Tim Johnson August the 4th. Thank you.
Yeah, it should be all right. I didn't have nothing planned.
She was talking about getting the flyer. We can try to hit the flyers up from there on out.
Okay, is everybody ready? First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone that's out here. It really shows you're concerned about what's going on in our community, and so am I. I'm really so disappointed right now. It's just ridiculous when I'm sitting back watching how the crime stats in this community has risen, actually not doubled, but some of them has tripled within 6 months of what's going on downtown with the new administration and the new interim chief. I think it's a shame that the people's being lied to, misled, and not counted as being important enough to police this city and keep the crime stats down like they were. But what you have is you have an individual in there that don't know how to police this city, don't know how to police an inner city. And it's reflecting, I'm not telling you guys nothing that you don't know. You know what the stats are, and you know what they were 6 months ago. In 2016, when I took office, I stood before every last one of you guys, some looked like a couple new faces, meaning the press and the media, and you guys was on me every day about what I was doing in that police department to bring this crime down. We were number 2 in the nation in 2016. In 2019, about 6 months ago when I left, we wasn't even listed in the top 30 or 40 anymore. We wasn't even on the list anymore. Now we're right back to probably around about within the first 5 of the worst cities to live in this country. And we're being lied to about what crimes is being committed. Let me say this. The citizens in this city deserve better. They need to open up their eyes. They need to research what you guys are putting out. I know Channel, I think 12 put out that the crime had risen, I think 160-something%. It was other news sources that put out there. I think the state police commented on how the crime is seriously up in Flint. And it's not the state police job to come in here and police this city. That's what they pay the Flint police for. I had the same budget, a worse budget. I had a deficit budget when I was in office, a deficit budget. I talked to city council. I didn't get no support from them. I didn't get no support from inside my avenues that I had to go to look for resources. I didn't get no help. I had to go outside and bring in millions of dollars to police this city. And I did it, and I did it. And it can still be done. Yeah. I left that police department on a solid foundation. Yeah. Look at it now. It's non-functional. People complain about response times. Yeah. People complain about not seeing the police for 2 and 3 days later. People getting shot in the streets. Yeah. And what happened to George Floyd was a crime. It was seriously wrong. It's happening every day in our streets. That's right. Nobody's saying nothing about the individual that's dying right here in Flint Nobody's saying nothing about it. And I'm not talking about the media, just not the media. I'm talking about even the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Nobody's protesting about what's happening here in our own city. I find that criminal.
Yeah.
I find it insulting. And I think the citizens in Flint deserve better than that.
Yeah.
The citizens in Genesee County deserve better than that. Because we know if the crime is not controlled here, it spreads out. And the crime been rising in Genesee County too.
Yeah.
Check, you guys have the stats, you have the records. Nobody's reporting it. And I got a question, why? Why is nobody not reporting what's going on in this community? Because you sure was reporting it when I was sitting in that office over there. Now, and you got people sitting over there, and they're giving you false information. The FBI statistics cannot lie. Okay, I don't write the FBI statistics. They do not lie.
That's right.
They're sitting over there downplaying it. The heat is why people's out here acting out of control.
Right.
Well, the last time I checked, last year this time, it was hotter then than it is now.
That's right.
So what did the heat have to do with it? They did away with their proactive. The CAT squad is not in operation anymore. That was the only proactive team that Flint had.
Right.
And the media looked at me and frowned on me when I put them into effect to police this city
That's right.
because they thought that I didn't have the manpower to do that, and I didn't. But it worked. It worked. It worked because we not only used the CAT squad, but we had intelligence going on. The Flint Police Intelligence Unit. We had camera systems going in. We had this city turned upside down. I restructured that department to the point where it couldn't be restructured no more.
Yeah.
But it was working. As you guys know, it was working. The stats did not lie. And you guys know what the stats were. How come that stuff is not being reported? I'm asking, how come it's not being reported?
That's right. That's right.
Every citizen in this city deserves better than what kind of law enforcement response they're getting right now. Every citizen. 3 people shot up on Cloud Road the other day. 2 people murdered somewhere else around the city. Nobody's saying nothing about it. Yeah, it's reported, but what was being done to stop it? Nothing. Because actually nothing can be when you don't have a proactive unit out there being proactive to crime instead of reactive to crime.
Right.
You got a police chief that's sitting over there, interim police chief that's sitting over there right now. You can ask any police officer, don't take my word for it. They have not saw the man since he was put in that office as the interim chief. And I'm talking about the command staff officers. They should be in a meeting every Wednesday, at least once a week, talking about what's going on around this city, trying to reduce the crime, trying to suppress the crime. They have not seen the man. Don't take my word for it. Ask the police officers over, ask the command staff officers over there how much they seen that police chief out here on the streets or in the police department, police in that department. Now, we all know he's running for sheriff, but I tell you what, that's a disservice to the citizens. Do it on your own time, not on the citizens' dime who's paying for it. It don't make no sense. But what I'm telling you what I'm highly upset about is the media as yourself. You guys are the first line defense for the citizens in this city because your voice carries. If you guys are not reporting what's going on in the city, then the citizens definitely don't know what's happening. They don't know what's happening. And I'm talking to friends of mine that I'm seeing out here in the media. You guys came to me on a regular basis, asked me what was I doing about certain things, what was going on. I didn't have no closed door policy to you. Please, get involved in what's going on in our community because you never know. That bullet don't have no name on it. You guys are out here riding around this city too. You guys are out here at homicide scenes, taping. You never know when bullets might continue to fly. It might be one of you guys that get hit. Please, get involved in what's going on around this city. Please start holding people accountable that should be held accountable. Make them answer for what's happening in this city. The quietness got to stop. It's got to stop.
It's got to stop.
For my, you want to come up and make this comment?
Right. Hello, everyone. I'm John L. Allen Bay with an organization called Nation Outside, as well as I'm a board of director member for ACLU. And today we filed a lawsuit against the city of Flint for the disfranchise of people who are residing in our county jail and have absentee ballots, and they haven't been given the opportunity to vote. And that's a travesty. We should never allow people to be registered voters, and according to law, the Constitution in 2018 permits absentees for everybody. You can file that way, you can vote that way, and the community has been disfranchised. Now, we're not going to get into finger pointing about who did what, but we know that the city of Flint is responsible for this here, and we need it clarified, and justice will take its place. Thank you.
the Flint Police Department is not a non-functioning organization. You have officers down there, as you guys saw. Like I say, I had a strap budget, I had a deficit budget, but we made it work with what we had, and we did not sit here and blame it on the heat. We didn't blame it on not having enough funding. Matter of fact, I cried in front of City Council. It made national news. It didn't get me anywhere. So what did I do? I went out there and I found those resources to make this city, the police department, self-sufficient and self-sustaining. Yeah. So what am I saying? I'm saying this. Hold the individuals accountable that's holding those seats right now, and maybe we'll get some different outcome of how they're looking at the city of Flint and how they're policing this city, and how this city is not being policed, I should say. Because right now, it's not being policed. You see cars driving up and down the street. I seen a car the other day going down a two-way street in the wrong lane, at least about 4 city blocks. People swerving all out the way to get out of his way because he was doing donuts in the street as he went. Not a police car in sight. And you can look at the streets and you see the black tire marks in the street on almost every corner where they're doing donuts in the middle of the intersection and no one's doing nothing about it. No policing, no nothing's going on. Those police officers in that police department are well capable of policing this city. The leadership is where the problem is. Yeah. It's the leadership. Sure. I want to say this, though. I don't think it's another candidate that's running for office, for the Genesee County Sheriff Office, that can sit here and tell you they have a proven record for reducing crime. I don't have to stand on my record. The media knows what my record is, and the citizens should know what my record is. I don't have to stand here and tell you what it is and boast on how that crime came down upon my direction, and it wasn't by happenstance. It was by a lot of prayer, and a lot of working with outside agencies, including the state police, the FBI, the DEA. We had all that stuff in place. But also, we had to get the Flint police officers up of their behind and get them out there to do the job that they was being paid to do. Yeah. And that took place. If you guys have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them for you. Any questions? Wow, I'm surprised. Any questions, anybody? Let me say this, I greatly appreciate you guys coming out, and I really would ask and put it on you guys' shoulder to please help police the city. Help to police the city with your voice. You have a strong voice, and every media person standing out here, you know you have a strong voice. Help police this city to help keep our citizens safe. And all you have to do is just report what's happening, and report it, and let it be known what's happening and what's not being done about it. Sure.
Since the media didn't have any questions and the chief talked about, I call him the chief, he talked about the budget in city council. Last year, as finance chair, I tried to move $2 million, and the vote was 5 no, 4 yes. This year, I tried to move a few $1 million for police, more personnel. The vote was 6 no, 3 yes. That's a problem. When you're dealing with crime in the city of Flint, you're not only dealing with the police department, you're dealing with the prosecutor's office, you're dealing with legislators, and you're dealing with the whole set of criminal justice system, even the judges. So when you see us stand here in a political season, I'm elected. I'm not running for nothing. This is all about scary crime in the city of Flint. It's scary. It's very scary. In my ward, cars shot up, bullet holes everywhere, guns everywhere. I asked Chief Hart, why did you dismantle the CAT squad? The CAT squad knew the streets. I know the streets. We know the people who are the bad people. And you have to deal with that. You have to suppress that, like what he said. So we don't want y'all to take this press conference lightly. I'm not here for nothing. I'm not biting my tongue. I think that I'm just as important as Macy's. What I mean by that is we saw a video of a black man hitting a white man at Macy's. And then we saw a press conference. It sent a message all across the city. Assault and battery. It was charged assault with intent to do great bodily harm, a 10-year felony. I got assaulted in Roots. Same prosecutor, same criminal justice system, and I'm just as important as Macy's. The complaint has been laying here for over 4 or 5 months. The media ain't reporting it. Black on black crime is just as important as black on white crime. And it's a difference, and the media don't seem to catch it. So we're here today. We know a man that has a proven track record with less resources. I know Swanson, I know Layton, but I know I got to put together a team, because when Flint wins, Genesee County wins. When you lessen the crime in Flint, you lessen the crime in Genesee County. I've been a victim. My life matters. So put it all together. This ain't no show. This ain't a game. These bullets is real. Crime is real. So I'm here standing with the chief today and to try to make it plain. Ask questions. We know specifically what can be done. Thank you so much.
I'm going to say one more thing. You know, during that man-made worst environmental disaster in U.S. history, right here, the Flint water crisis, we policed this city, and I say we because it was a we thing. We policed this city. We had the back to the bricks, the bike to the bricks. We had the militia here carrying guns. We had all kind of protests going on. We didn't have one citizen got disrespected by the police, but we policed this city and we kept the incidents down. We Back to the Bricks congratulated us for how safe they felt when they came to this, for that Back to the Bricks event. They felt so safe, they pulled me to the side and told me personally how they felt, because we had it under control. With limited resources, no manpower, no boots on the ground, no officers, but we had cameras going, and I had the CAT squad out there, I had the Flint police out there. We made it happen with what we had. I never came before the media and cried about not having enough resources. Did I? I never did. I never did. The resources was not there then, and the resources ain't there now. But you work with what you have, and you get out here in the streets, and it meant me pulling off my shirt and tie, coming out here helping those officers police this street. That's what I had to do, and that's exactly what I did. That's not happening now, and the city is paying for it dearly. And every life that's lost, they might not mean nothing to some of the people standing here, but they mean something to somebody. They got a mother, they got a father, they got a sister, they got a brother, they got children, they got a husband and wife. They mean something to somebody. This has to be taken more seriously than what it is. And you guys got to start speaking up. You really got to start speaking up. And I really, really, really appreciate you guys coming out. I know you guys had a lot of things you could have been doing in other places you could have been, but thank you for coming out, and thank you for taking the time to listen to what I had to say. Thank you very much.
No justice, no peace.
Well, you can ask her if she want to speak. Thank you so much. God bless you guys, and you guys be safe. Thank you.
Good job, Tim.
Thank you.
Yeah, Councilman Mays here, and we're here about the increase in crime. And it's not a coincidence. The police department have been somewhat dismantled. You got a chief out campaigning more than policing. We had an intelligence camera system. We had a CAT squad. And then, you know, it ain't just the police, it's also the prosecutor and the judicial system, and we're in a political year. And so we're going to do all we can, win, lose, or draw during this political year, to communicate to the community and to the voters, because voting matters, that your vote and who you put in these important positions, and today we're talking criminal justice, can have an effect on what's going on. I used an example of Macy's in the Out County getting prosecutions and expedient service compared to my office getting no service and no charges. Assault and batteries, assault with intent to do great bodily harm. I have underlying issues. I've got hernias, I got issues going on. I can't take getting beat up. The media, the prosecutors, they have to send a strong message. When somebody hits somebody, let alone shoot somebody, there's got to be some stiff repercussions, not just for the white community, but for the black community as well. When you start sending these messages, you start lessening crime. We got the chief running for sheriff over here, and that's important. That's an important position. We got people running for prosecutor, judges. It all worked together. So I'm not going to stay in the house. I'm coming out. Tomorrow, we'll be on the line of City Hall. Black lives, black votes matter, and policing an urban community affects the whole county. It affects our whole reputation, and there are some things we can do.
Recently, we just heard Chief Tim Johnson saying the things that he's going to be doing for the community and the things that he's upset about, which we're all upset about. And this is why we want to vote and put a man into office, somebody that's concerned for the people, somebody that has our backs. We're tired when we make phone calls to call the police. It's taking them 2 to 3 days to get out there to assist us. It's like we have to take care of our own properties, our own lands. We need Tim Johnson in office. We need that cat squad back. We need people that are going to take care of Flint. Vote for Tim Johnson.
Hi, Claudia Perkins Milton here. I was standing next to the chief when I heard what he had to say about the crime stats in the city of Flint and Genesee County. It is ridiculous. I lay in my bed at home and I hear all kind of gunshots till early morning. I rolled down the street yesterday and there was a guy just screeching his wheels. He'd stop at a light and then he'd screech off again. It's ridiculous. And I said, where are the police? I've looked high and looked low. I've got a girlfriend. She lives over in my neighborhood. And the gentleman that got killed at the store, Duper, his family's house got shot up 8 times since that incident. No police response for 2 days. Shame on you, Chief Hart. I'm telling you, somebody needs to do something. We need that CAT team back. We got off the high crime list when Chief Johnson was the chief of police. And maybe you need to take a lesson or contact him. I don't know. But I know something needs to change. And it needs to change now.
Good afternoon. Hi, my name is Cynthia Haynes and I live in First Ward. I truly agree with Chief Johnson. The crime is ridiculous. It is horrible in the city of Flint. This is unacceptable. All night long, I had to hear gunshots, people speeding, driving all up and down the street, just reckless. I don't want to throw no names or call no shots, but at the end of the day, there's a lack of respect and a lack of leadership. So I don't know if it's either a lack of respect for leadership or just no leadership, period. Flint, we deserve better than this. Flint people, we are resilient, we're strong, and we're lovable, but right now we're hurt and we're hurting. We need appropriate leadership. We need appropriate. Vote Tim Johnson and Claudia Perkins. Thank you.
For state
rep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, what I'm seeing here, you have crime that's up 169, 186%. Non-fatality shootings, you have homicides that's up over 80%. And they tried to blame it on the heat and crisis. Well, we had a water crisis that was just as bad because we was poisoned. And they knew that they was poisonous. And the people, was upset about that. And plus, it was 4 degrees hotter last year. So now if you're going by the heat index, that should be, less crime because it's not as hot as it was last year. People have to stop allowing the elected officials to, use excuses and mislead and deceive the community with their mistruths. And vet and hold their feet to the fire and not allow them to use friendship and personal relationships to keep them silent. We have to speak out and speak up. We talk about systematic racism, but these are the same people that we done had in place over the years, which are recycled politicians, and they have not done anything over the past 30 years that they have been as our elected officials. So we must stop this right now. We done seen GISD where they not giving money to our kids. They're only giving 2% to the special need kids. You have policing. They don't care. I mean, there's so much going on. So we need to make things happen, you know, and we need to start August the 4th by voting for candidates who care about Flint. Thank you. And actually,
Tim Johnson here. We're at the Genesee County Courthouse. Just had a press release conference in reference to the crime that's in the city of Flint. I think it's a slap in every citizen's face to live in this city and in this community that has to be just dealing with the high crime rate in this city right now, subjected to the high crime rate in this city right now. The police department right now is actually not functional. It's not protecting the citizens as it should. We got shootings all over the place, gunshots going off everywhere, day and night. I'm not telling the citizens in this community nothing that they don't already know. The crime rate has done tripled almost since last year, since I left office. Not even 6 months ago, we were not even in the top 40 anymore, and the crime just done tripled since I left office. And I think it's a slap in every citizen's face. And what I would ask the citizens to do is actually research, take a look at what's going on in your community, hold the police department and every other elected official accountable for what's not being done in your city and in your community, as you did when I was in office. I got calls all the time. I fought to keep the crime rate down. We did that. We restructured the police department to the point where we wasn't even in the top 40 anymore. Now I guarantee you we're right back down to about number 5 for having the worst crime statistics in the United States for shootings and homicides. So it's time to stand up and be heard.